surprise, surprise. I said it was going to be 2 packages on the last video that I was going to be opening up. It's actually 3 because I have Baker Creek seeds and MiGardener seeds and Baker Creek plants. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to do this one. Do 1, 2, and 3. So Baker Creek rare seed order and MiGardener seed order and some kind of plants from Baker Creek. Let's go with this one first. I told you guys they keep teasing me with this Heirloom Expo flyer that they're having in Ventura, California, September 10th to 12th. If I lived there, I would go. You know I would. Doesn't that look like, to me, it's like heaven on earth or something. I'm not sure. How much I enjoy something like this. It's just kind of crazy. So let's go ahead and see. I did buy this, how do you say this? Zloty Lan chamomile. I'm so into this. So I have all these different kinds of chamomile. I've got the Roman and the German and so many different varieties. Easily self-sells. It's a Polish variety. Nice. I love it for teas. I love chamomile tea. So that's going to be wonderful. I'm hoping to get enough flowers going that I can like dry them and just fill jars with them. And then I can have my own tea whenever I like to in the wintertime when I need it the most. So just like a lot of plants, it does say to keep them moist until sprouts appear. It says seeds need light to germinate. So that's important to know, not to plant them deep. Maybe plant them very close to the soil surface. It says here, surface sow. When it says needs light to germinate, it usually means sow it on the surface. What I do in those circumstances is that I'll kind of press it onto the soil so it has good contact. And then I'll mist it with a spray bottle really good. And then I always use, for plants like this, this would be horrible to dry it out, dry it out too fast. So I would put it in like a to-go container, right? So you put your peat moss or I like to use coco coir, and you get it nice and damp, really moist, and then you spritz it, make sure that it has good contact, and then I put the lid on it until it sprouts. And then at the very most, I would leave it with the container lid on until the leaves touch the top of the container. Then it for sure has to come off. So don't leave those plastic lids on too long. Minimum till they sprout, maximum till they touch the lid. Otherwise, your plants will be very deformed or even rotten. So yes, surface sow. Don't let it dry out. So you're going to keep that lid on it, and then you set them out later. So set them out when it's any chance of frost is gone. Then that's when you do it. So like they say, oh geez, a lot of different sources will tell you to put them out, I feel, too early. So I might put them out when they say to, but I would put them into a greenhouse or a polytunnel, or I would protect them, because most sources will say to put them out a little bit in the risk zone, I would say. Risky. It's too risky. Risky business. All right, so now I also got these. I thought they're so beautiful. They don't even look like eggplant. Looks kind of like a pepper, but these are eggplants, and they look very seedy now that I'm looking at it. I got it because it's so beautiful. It says it's flavorful, and it's an indigenous variety of Ghana, right? And drought and heat resistant. That's really important, because our summers has been getting really hot in Washington, hot and dry, which is not really what's normal to here. But for the last decade, it's just been getting drier and drier and drier. And our water bills have been getting crazy in the summer. So, and we were also on our watering schedule, because we'll get a statement saying you can only water 3 days a week in the summertime. It's like usually starts in, I think, beginning of June and goes all the way through end of August, maybe even September. I remember one time I got a bill for $500. I just like about passed out. I was like, no. So I do want to have some areas of my garden that I don't have to water that frequently. And I even use rainwater and stuff. And I barely even watered that year that I got the bill for $500. I think maybe they had a mistake, honestly. I've heard from other people in my community that they had similar bills that time frame. I think the water company actually had some kind of error because I wasn't even watering in August because I was back to school getting ready. I was barely watering, and I was using a lot of rainwater I had already collected. I got the little lettuce gem, and this is actually um the reason I went on and did this order was for this, because I thought this would just be so exquisite. In the summertime, we really like to go for cold foods, and so we don't have to heat up the house. So I'm really going to have a lot of salads going on, and this just looks so delicious. Doesn't that look? I'm just imagine the texture of that, crunchy and delicious, and maybe have a little bit of ranch dressing on that, you know, little lettuce with your ranch dressing, or vice versa. Okay, so apple green romaine type heads, but they're super tiny. So this is not like SHTF food apocalypse, right? This is more like I really just want to know what it's like. The free seeds with this order were these carrots. I haven't gotten free carrot seeds in a couple years now, at least. This order definitely was in under my budget, which is $15 to $20 a week. I only spent $11. I got the carrot seeds, lettuce seeds, eggplants, and the chamomile. Okay, let's go ahead and see what I got from MiGardener. So this order was actually from the beginning of February, and they did a fine job. They actually sent it to me earlier. I just didn't get around to putting up a video or opening up the package. I knew it was seeds, so I knew it would keep, and you could just wait until I was ready for it. So I did get some Tom Thumb Dwarf Bibb lettuce. So I've really been wanting to plant a lot more crunchy leafy greens. Always mean to, and then I'll plant it too late. So remember, to plant your lettuce, you want to plant it early, and you also want to plant it really late. You do not want to plant it in the hot summer, or maturing into the hot summer, because it will just bolt. Now, if you mess up and you plant it the wrong time and it bolts, let it bolt and go to seed, and you will have so many seeds. That's the worst case scenario. Then you take the seeds and you put them right back in the ground, and they'll grow, and then you'll have them in the right period of time. So don't be intimidated by that. A lot of people waste their bolted lettuce by just throwing it away. Don't do that. Let it bolt. Take those seeds, put them back into the earth, and you will get the lettuce eventually in the right time period. All right. And if you get those seeds in the late summer, going into fall, keep those seeds for the next summer so they don't rot on you. I also got some of this corn salad. I don't know if these are two different varieties. The packages are slightly different, but the pictures on them are exactly the same, right? And the information on the back is pretty much the same, except this one here has more information. So what I'm thinking is that they're either the exact same, or perhaps one of them is a slightly different variety. This one here has 500 seeds. This one has 150. So if you're paying the same price, paying the same price for the seed packet, I don't remember if it was or not, but I would go for the 500, right? Go for more seeds. So I got those, and I let some go to flower once, and they were so pretty. I want to say that they were tiny little blue flowers, so precious, and they did reseed. On the packaging, it does say that it almost acts like a perennial because how much it does reseed. That I guess could be true. Now, I wouldn't say it would do that if you let the weeds take over, but if you have a designated spot and you let it go to seed, you probably do get enough seeds that it kind of acts like a perennial. But I would seed save just in case, right? So then I also, this is just for, I just got for ornamental. How beautiful it is. It's a salvia. And I really love to have things that the pollinators are going to go crazy for and really enjoy. And then this is not a glitch. You do see Roselle, 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 Roselle. Okay, the reason why I bought all this Roselle is because there is a Hispanic drink, I'm sure other cultures have it too, that is called Jamaica, and it is incredible. It is so soothing. My husband's family will prepare it often, and it has all kinds of fruit in it. But what really gives it its flavor is the Roselle hibiscus. It's not the flower, it's the calyx. Is that how you say it? It's the gummy part of the flower at the base. And people dry it. Right here it is, right here. The calyces have a zesty cranberry-like flavor. That's why they'll often call it cranberry hibiscus, is a nickname for it. And then here it says, let me zoom in. Okay. It says that you can use it for tea. But I also wanted to focus in on, okay, here. It's very culinary, makes refreshing hibiscus tea. I'm sure it's true, that's true, but I actually really want it for the Jamaica. That's my favorite. I wish they talked more about that. But the vitamin C is wonderful. It says to start 3 to 4 weeks before last frost. When I've done that before, it wasn't long enough. That's why I bought so many seed packets. I'm going to plant some earlier than that. I've actually found dried Roselle. If you want to make the tea or you want to make the Jamaica, you can get the dried Roselle calyxes, whatever. From where I got it was Winco. I don't know if they still have it. I'd have to look. But I did buy it there before in the bulk section. And it's amazing. So you can make your own tea, which is wonderful. And let's see here. I wonder how long they live. See, the thing is, I planted these before, but they didn't survive. I mean, they didn't survive the winter time, and they never got very big. So I'm trying again. I had bought some seeds off of eBay many years ago. So this time I'm going to use these seeds, which I trust a lot better. And I'm going to see how it goes. This is annual perennial. So if it's perennial, maybe it's annual if it's in a warm climate, perennial if it's, perennial if it's a warm climate, annual if it's in a cold climate. So I'd like to plant some in pots and then protect them or bring them inside and see if I can get a second harvest out of them. Because you only get 10 seeds for the same price of like this one here. These seeds, you get 500 seeds, right? Or these seeds, you get 500. And this one, you only get 10. So I'd like to get this to overwinter by bringing it inside. And I'm really looking forward to that. I thought it was really nice that they included this little empty seed packet. And it's for saving your own seeds, right? You write down all the information here. And then it has the gummy glue on here to seal it. That's really nice. I wonder if they're selling seed packet, like empty seed packets now. Because this was a really nice gift. And I will definitely use that for some of the seeds I save. Hopefully, I will be saving some of these. I'd love to get enough going on this that I can let some of these go past the stage to have actual mature seeds, because you're going to be picking this when it's not mature technically. You'll be picking that part of it before the seeds have developed, I'm assuming. That'll be my first time actually harvesting it, so I don't know for sure. I did a lot of research like 15 years ago. It's been a long time since I tried growing Roselle. I tried probably 10, 15 years ago, really. It's been a long time. So I'm trying it again, and this time I'm going to start them early, and I'm using a reputable seed source. And then hopefully I can get some of these. Most of them I'll probably harvest to use for the tea and dry it and all that good stuff. But then I'm going to let some of them go longer, save the seed, keep them in a packet, and then hopefully keep the plants in containers and bring them inside so I can keep them for another year. For hopefully many years, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get into the box now. I'm getting like this whole mismatchy, crazy, disorganized pile of seeds I got here now. Let's get into the box. Bothering you that I have all these things left out. I'm going to go ahead and put them into one of these bags I got from Temu, or Temu, however you want to say it. Correct me. Temu. This one, I like the ones that kind of breathe. This one is kind of like, it's full plastic. But it's okay. I'm going to use it to put the seeds in there, and I'll organize them later. So I really do like these bags, and they are really big, so I can fit a lot of seeds in here. So the ones I said I like the ones that kind of breathe more, the mesh ones, because they kind of like, they also are forgiving on size. Like, they kind of stretch a little bit. But one of the perks of this one, the zippers are really nice. They seem to be really seamless. And it's plastic, so if I brought this outside with me and the sprinkler was going or something, or I accidentally, got a couple drops on here, then this should be waterproof. I don't know 100% sure, but I would assume that it would help keep my seed packets from getting damp. Now, if it got a little dribble on there, I would check to see if they were dry. So, I'm not sure. Am I the only one who's ever brought seeds out to the garden and then accidentally left them there? And then come out later, and then you have 500 southern collard greens sprouting? I mean, I'm asking for a friend. I reached into the box to pull this out, and this thing bit me. It bit me. I'm kidding. It didn't bite me. This is the Flying Dragon Hardy Orange Plant, and it has thorns, and I grabbed it a little bit too harshly, and it bit me. So this is a hardy orange variety, and so I will be planting this up into a pot, and then I'm going to keep it indoors, and then come next fall, it'll be outside until once it gets warmer, I will have it outside, and I'll keep it outside forevermore after that point. But right now, I don't want to shock it because it's been warm indoors and in the vehicle and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to plant it probably tomorrow, and then I'll keep it inside, and then when it warms up, I will plant it outside in a pot, and then bring it probably into the polytunnel in the wintertime. The polytunnel is not hot in the winter. It's just a little bit warmer than outside. So, I mean, actually, it's a lot warmer than outside. But at nighttime, it's still going to be cold out there, but this is a cold hardy variety. I actually had a lime tree in a pot in my greenhouse, my dilapidated, not completely sealed greenhouse, for I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And it never produced any fruit, and it never got very big. But our weather has been really finicky. It gets warmer, and then it gets freezing cold, and then it gets warmer, and then it gets cold, and it gets warmer, and then it gets cold. And it basically psyched that tree out. So it would start growing green and growing its leaves back, and then it would it would freeze and then it would drop its leaves. And then it would get warmer and it would grow some leaves. And then it put so much energy into being tricked that eventually it just died. So stop touching the tree. I'm going to keep poking myself. Sometimes when I have a thorny plant, I'll cut the thorns off. I know that's kind of silly, but sometimes I will do that just because it's like a hazard for me when I'm handling it so much. But this is a thorny variety. That's the cold hardy varieties. The cold hardy citruses have thorns. But the type I was talking about actually didn't have thorns. I never got fruit out of, so I never did get fruit out of it, but it did look really nice. And if I had kept it in a warmer, environment in the fall and winter, I might have gotten fruit out of it eventually, especially if I had given it some like fertilizer and stuff. I really do shy away from like synthetic fertilizers, and so it needs a little bit more than chop and drop. But chop and drop has worked for most of my plants, minus the citrus. So the citrus probably need a little bit more something that I need to research into that. But I'm excited about this because I want to have a variety that I don't have to protect so crazy. And then the other plant I got from them is this one right here. And this one here is called Chief Kubo's Hibiscus. So I will be planting this out. I'm going to do some more research on it. I tried growing some, and I'm not sure if this is, I'll put on the, like, somewhere here, if this is an edible variety. I'm sure it must have been, because I basically don't, like, usually buy something unless it has a use. Like the one Salvia flower I have in here, I specifically remember buying it because it was so pretty. But most of the flowers, most of the flowers that grow either are medicinal or edible or something about them like that. I've grown something like this before, and I believe something ate it. So I'm giving this another try. I'm going to see if I can protect it better and get it to be a perennial. I know I wouldn't pay this much unless it was meant to be that way. So this was, the order was $43.52. And that's for the Flying Dragon Hardy Orange, Citrus Tree, and the Chief Kubo's Hibiscus plant. And it says that there's, yes, $21.75 and $18 plus tax. So this will be fun to plant, and I'm going to plant these up tomorrow. Right now it's getting dark and it's drizzling outside. But that was a lot of fun to open up this package and get bit a little bit. Which of these seeds do you think is most interesting? The little gem lettuce, the Ensoro, Ewia, how do you say this, you guys? I'm sorry. Eggplant, the corn salad, the Roselle, hibiscus, the chamomile, or the carrots, or perhaps are you more interested in this beautiful flying dragon citrus or the hibiscus plant? Which of these do you think is the most interesting? Make sure you comment below. Hit subscribe for the next video. I'm going to be doing an order on Temu. I've got some really cool garden stuff that I'm expecting, and some stuff for prepping. So you're not going to want to miss that. Click like, subscribe, comment below, and all that jazz. Remember to be good, be sweet, and grow a garden if you want to eat. See you next time.